My name is Linda Amaral-Zettler. I'm a scientist here at the Marine Biological Laboratory. And my lab looks at microbial diversity and microbial ecology in the ocean and other environments. And the project that is going on right now that's really relevant to the longest swim program that's going to be happening in the upcoming months is called the Plastisphere. So I'm a microbial ecologist, and my lab works on interactions between microbes and plastic, specifically plastic marine debris in the ocean. And right now we have a collaboration going on between the Marine Biological Laboratory, my home institution, and the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution and the Sea Education Association, looking at interactions between microbes and plastic marine debris, most of which is very tiny in the ocean. The longest swim gives us a really unique opportunity to do a time series across the entire Pacific Ocean. And in addition to my colleagues here in Woods Hole, we're also collaborating with Dr. Jack Gilbert at the University of Chicago on the sort of human dimension of the project, which is the human microbiome of Ben LeCompte, who is the extreme athlete who's actually going to be doing the swim. And the interest there is really quite fascinating because it's an opportunity to look at an extreme athlete who is going to be coming into direct contact with the ocean. Now, part of Ben's team is going to be helping us collect samples for our own research, dealing with microbes specifically. But what's really cool about the connections between the institutions is that now we have sort of Jack and his student, actually Jared Marcel, who's going to be working with the data generated as part of looking at Ben's microbiome and his interactions with the water that he's going to be swimming through, and what he's going to be eating and coming in contact with, his microbiome, the ocean microbiome, and then the microbiome associated with plastics and the plastisphere. Really, we have a unique opportunity to look at the human microbiome, the ocean microbiome, and plastisphere, or the microbiome of plastic marine debris, all under one umbrella between this collaborative work that's being done between the University of Chicago and the three Woods Hole institutions. The opportunity that we have will allow us to do sampling off of the vessel, and that's the crew that's going to be overseeing Ben's swim the whole time. They'll be collecting samples to quantify plastics, but then also looking at samples that are associated with Ben himself. He will be taking samples from his gut and also samples from the snorkel, which incidentally is made of plastic as well, to be able to compare the communities that we're seeing in the water column with his own microbiome and then the surrounding seawater and plastic associated with the Great Pacific Garbage Patch and other parts of the water column that he'll be swimming through. So we will be collecting a lot of different types of data as part of the project. And in order to help support some of the research and some of the analyses that will be coming out of the project, we're hoping to launch a crowdsourcing effort that will be led by the University of Chicago. And the idea being just to really be able to help support the analyses that come out of looking at the microbiome of Ben, but then also other individuals that want to compare their microbiomes with Ben. We'll give people an opportunity to do that. And again, part of the support that we gain from the crowdsourcing will hopefully also contribute to better understanding the microbial communities associated with plastic and Ben and the surrounding seawater as part of our effort to look at this larger microbiome of the extreme athlete in the ocean that he's swimming in. So, the ocean is very integral to our lives, even those of us that don't live on the coast. For example, every other breath of air that we take comes from a marine microbe in the ocean. And so one of the things that the project that we're hoping to carry out will inform is our relationship with the ocean in a very different light, in the sense of our direct interaction with the ocean, not just the air we breathe, but also in the process of swimming through the ocean, how we interact as humans. This has really never been looked at before, so we're pretty excited about comparing those kinds of data. Also, the ability to be able to look at the physiology and the microbiome and how it's impacted by an extreme sport is really quite novel as well with respect to swimming and the ocean. And I think it's really a great opportunity to sort of combine sort of the human biomedical aspects of microbiome research with environmental microbiome research, something that sometimes isn't always done in our field. And so I really expect that we'll find some really interesting insights on how we directly interact with the environment and the environment interacts with us. So in addition to looking at the microbiome of the ocean, the plastic, and the surrounding water column, Ben himself is also going to be sampling directly the radioactivity in the ocean. And this is a project that's being spearheaded by Ken Buesseler at the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. And this is really going to provide us with a little bit more insights into the aftermath of the Fukushima outfall and looking at radioactivity all the way from just outside of Tokyo across the Pacific Ocean. Well, there hasn't been a ton of sampling so far to really investigate that. So again, that sort of time series and being able to really do a transect like that is sort of unprecedented. So they'll be collecting samples on the vessel itself and filtering the water directly, but then also Ben will be, because he'll have this rad band on him, he'll be physically sampling as he swims, he'll be able to sample the ocean as well that way. So that's very unique, and it's a very interesting and innovative way of being able to sample radioactivity to begin with. But again, what really makes it special is the location and the duration of the actual sampling.